Houston's famous livestock show and rodeo is shut down this morning because of concerns about the coronavirus. The event was 9 days into its 20-day run when it was canceled yesterday. It had already drawn more than 500,000 visitors. This past weekend, the rodeo was the setting for a memorable homecoming for Texas native and country music star Maren Morris. Morris and her husband, musician Ryan Hurd, are about to welcome their first child, but that did not stop her from performing in front of a nearly sold-out stadium audience, the biggest of her career. Maren Morris's headlining gig at the Houston Rodeo was anything but a solo show. She was supported by a flock of sheep during her sound check, and the 29-year-old country star was performing nearly 9 months pregnant with her first child.
I'm praying that he stays in there for at least another 24 hours and then he can fall out.
What is your actual due date?
It's the 30th.
Yeah.
So we're cutting it pretty close, but honestly, I feel great. He's kicking.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to be okay for today.
Can I get a hallelujah?
The Houston Rodeo, the biggest in the world, is an iconic event for any artist, but especially for a Texan. Morris was back in her home state,
Ooh.
rewarded with a custom belt buckle,
I don't think a belt will fit me right now.
as she huddled with her band before her biggest show ever.
We are about to play for like 63,000 people out there.
The massive star-shaped stage was rolled into the middle of the arena, and then Morris made her entrance.
How we doing, Texas?
In the past few years, she's become one of the biggest stars in country music, and even crossed over to pop success.
Oh, baby. Why do you just meet me in the middle? I'm losing my mind, just a little. So why do you just meet me in the middle?
Kind of done this your own way. Does it feel that way to you?
In some ways, yeah. I haven't tried to follow anyone else's map. I've always had a really strong work ethic because I've been playing since I was so young.
I got some dreams.
Morris was 10 when she started singing in Arlington, Texas, where her parents run a hair salon. At 21, she packed up a U-Haul and moved to Nashville to become a songwriter, where we caught up with her in 2016 for CBS Sunday Morning. What was the scariest part about coming here?
Okay, so I moved into like a Craigslist house. I didn't know who the roommates were.
You said something to me when we first met 4 years ago, I think it was.
God.
What?
No, just so much has happened since that interview. I had just moved into that house and there was no furniture. There was like 2 chairs.
Since then, she's had 2 #1 country albums.
When the bones are good, the rest don't matter. Yeah, the pain could heal, the glass could shatter. Let it
And though few women get airtime on country radio, last month, Morris's song, The Bones, hit #1 for 2 straight weeks. Morris asked her label the last time that had happened for a female artist.
And they said it was 2012.
8 years ago.
Yeah. And it was Carrie Underwood.
I mean, what does it say to you that it's taken 8 years for that to happen again?
I could be like optimistic here, cautiously, but I think that it's turning for the better.
She's up for 5 Academy of Country Music Awards next month, including Female Artist of the Year and Group of the Year.
That was a surprise.
redesigning women.
The Highwomen, the supergroup she joined last year with Brandi Carlile, Amanda Shires, and Natalie Hemby, made their debut at the Newport Folk Festival last summer, a moment I captured on my cell phone.
I love that video you got because that was, if I can speak for all of the ladies, it was probably one of the most special shows that we will ever play.
Why was it that special?
I think because people were anticipating us and excited to see us before we had even played a note. I just don't think we expected that kind of love quite yet.
Morris, who's married to country singer Ryan Hurd, will go back on tour this summer with a baby on board her tour bus. Are you worried about that at all?
No, I mean, I've just seen so many amazing artists do it and make it look not only normal for the child, but fun.
We continued that conversation backstage at the rodeo, but were interrupted.
This little baby horse is just peeing so loudly off camera.
He's staring right at you.
I've been there, yeah. Bud. I gotta pee all the time.
It's not often that you're this conscious of a transitional moment in your life.
I've had a lot of time off to think about it, so like the charm of pregnancy has now worn off.
Yeah.
My husband and I both just want to meet our kid. But I can't wait to look back at all this footage from tonight. Years to come and like show him, my son, this is what I did. Like a week before you were here. Yeah, you were my duet partner through the whole thing.
The house don't fall when the bones are good. Ooh, na, 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 na.
As if having one pregnant musician on stage wasn't enough, Morris's bass player is actually also expecting. Annie Clements, 6 months pregnant with her first child, a baby girl. Clements got pregnant shortly after Morris told the band about her baby, and now both women are planning to take their newborns along on tour.
You know, that was remarkable because to be that pregnant and
Yes.
do anything is a miracle.
Well,
But
she
to
said
be
she
singing-
got the offer before she was pregnant, and then when she looked at her due date, she was like, "Uh-oh." You know, but she brought her doula along with her.
love
She
it.
had a whole support team. Her family was there, and she snuck it in before the rodeo got canceled.
She snuck it in. What a
And
difference
before the
4 years
baby
makes.
came out,
Yes.
yeah.
It's amazing. It's a great piece.
Yeah,
I love seeing her as a 10-year-old and then seeing her full
Yes.
Yep,
arenas.
she's been doing it for a long time.
And yeah, that was a special time at that folk festival.
Yes, it was.
And the
For
baby
all-
Dolly
can't hear
Parton
the
came
music.
out. Yeah, that was great.
All right, ahead are